Alright, so today's exercise we start with this deck called All Dragons. It's not actually all dragons, but I'm sure the intent was there. So, unasked, I'm going to go ahead and make changes to this deck and give my input as to what I see after playing with it, I should point out. After playing with it, these are the things that I wound up changing. I decided to lean heavily into the fact that we got flying in this deck. And flying and the evasion capabilities there means that, yeah, that's what I thought was important about the deck. So, where were we? We had this. Let's see if I can compare the two on here. Alright, so we kept the sailors. We got the barge in. We've got rid of the goblins because they were on the ground. And I thought we could do better. We did keep the brine cutthroats. But I would like to replace those with flyers, but at the same time I didn't want to go too nuts with it because I'm not sure for the person making the deck what they have access to. So initially I thought, well, I'll just do common cards. Then I thought, well, there's not enough of that. I need to maybe stretch it out to commons and uncommons. And then I thought, you know what? This deck and Magic in general is all about feelings and guts and customizing it to what feels right for you. So instead I just started making some changes and I thought, well, I'm gonna make this so it feels a little bit more like my deck and maybe explain the reasons why I did that. Not being a fan of whatever. Not being a fan of the accomplices, because while they're a 2/3 creature with flying, they don't give you anything else. And so I thought we should lean into the flying and add fairy duelists. We should add sprites. We should add some more flying with the Cloudkin Seer. We should add the Tome Raiders, because while they're the same cost as the others, they're 3, they give us a card. And what I found when I played this deck a few times is I had plenty of mana, but I was left top decking and hoping to get a card that I needed. Instead, I put in things like Witching Well to scry, to fix for the cards I need, and the Duelist that has Flash, so it can be flashed in on their turn to weaken their creatures. The goblins, there's not a lot of actually instants and sorceries that we're casting. Let's click up here and see what we have. Only about 6, 7, 8. Only about 8 of them, and that's not too far off from where we started. So it didn't feel like there was enough in there to make that worthwhile. So I went for card draw to give me options, and here's a little bit of mana and a couple of win conditions to finish out the game if I was just sitting there with nothing but mana to spend. And Expansion Explosion is what I chose for that. It is a rare card, but it has some nice effects there. When it comes down to land, I went for just straight lands, nothing that would come into play tapped, or few things that would come into play tapped. And if they did come into play tapped, they had to give me a ability or an effect that I needed. That scrying to fix the cards that I need, a little bit of life gain, never really hurt. Let's see what we initially had here. Yeah, we had some other lands that, well, actually some of these lands I didn't even have, so it's another reason why I kind of avoided those. The Murderous Axe, the Crashing Drawbridge, I've seen that played to effect later, after, with several decks that I've played of my own. And it just didn't feel like it needed to be in here. But you know what? I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And if I'm happy with this, I will risk some of my hard-won constructed ranks. Let me see what happens. This could be incredibly embarrassing, but this was my take on the deck. And this represents what I think is a wonderful exercise. Building between multiple people, having a brain trust, having somebody else that you can bounce ideas off from, or maybe see a weakness in a deck, or see something else that could be strengthened, I think is the best way to actually build decks. That's actually going to come up in the next version, the next Tibalt's Apprentice. What am I facing? That dude has a crap load of cards, more cards than he could ever shuffle. I don't like having 2 Electromancers in there, but I'm not bothered by it either, because I think the card draw is going to give me what I need. Yeah, 205 cards, dude, you can't even shuffle that. But you know what? This is a digital world, and it has very little to do with actual card magic, card table magic here. What's blue? That's not a good sign. If that's just stacked full of counter spells. Oh, some green. Okay. Well, what do we go for here? I think I'm going to see if flying pays off for me. Oh, I could do that on their turn too. So let's wait till the last possible minute to make our decision. I'm going to hold back and see what they do and then respond to it. And let it pass. They're not putting anything. Well, I do want to kill them, so let me flash in the one with the most power. That's interesting. Let's do this and do this. Alright, go ahead and attack. And let's see where we go with this. I'm wishing I had some red, but we'll see. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and attack, I guess. Let's see what they have in store for us. I'll put a stop on this, so make sure to stop at the end of their turn so I can remember to flash in that Spectral Sailor in case I get distracted. And let's see what they're going for. They're looking for something big. Well, I don't want it to go to my turn. I want to flash that in. Even if he counters it, I at least get the counter. Yeah, okay. Interesting. But that's all right. Kinda wishing I had some land here, some red land. I hope he doesn't have any shenanigans to give it a plus, but they probably do. Yeah. Or they're happy to get rid of that. Alright. Well, this is where I'm going to see... Oh, well, never mind. I was going to say we'll see if flying pays off, but... Wow. 6 mana, all of it blue. Okay. I didn't actually say these were good ideas. I just said that these were my take on the cards that should be added, right? Alright. Yeah, alright. So he's got 201 counter spells in there. Well, let's see what else he has in his hand. At this rate, I've got to watch out for counter spells, but they may be able to pull off an expansion explosion on them. Let's see. Okay, interesting. They don't need the card draw, so they've got something up their sleeve. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I would like some treasure tokens. And let's make them think that we've got instants and sorceries we want to cast. Throw it out there as bait. Okay. And keep swinging at him. Put him at a choice for all those cards. That life key is going to go down, down, down. That's right, that's not an act, it's just an activated ability. It doesn't have to be tapped. Okay. Going to be a hydrocrisis in here pretty soon, I'm sure. That's why it doesn't care. Oh, giant. Alright. Does it have reach? Yeah, whatever. Okay. Another one. Okay. Yeah. Well, what do we got here? Let's drop this. And I need to get that out there, but I actually need it for the mana more than anything. And probably will be countered. No? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I'll swing with one. Yeah, when I saw this deck, I decided that leaning into the flying was really important. Or, you know, we could have gone the other way, which you know, a lot more instants, a lot more spells. I think we had some Mastiffs on there, but only a couple of them. You mother... Well, I hope you have another one of those then, because you're really going to want to take the next thing that I put down. Yeah, you're really going to want to take this one. See what response they have. I wouldn't be surprised if they have another one. But once you've got them down like this, a good fireball, a good anything to finish them off. That's it. Return. Target creature. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, alright, but can you cast it again? I don't think you can cast it again. So that buys me a turn. Yeah, well, I need to do something good. We'll see what I do. I am in the position where I'm top decking now. But we'll see how that goes. Alright, do a damage. 1 damage, 2. Yeah, let's get that block. Well, we'll get one blocker out of the way for sure. I can Wishing Well. If I thought about this more, I could Wishing Well and get 2 more damage, but let's see where we're at. 1 to cast it. 2 land cards. Yeah, that's not gonna be what I want. Drawing 2 more cards, that would be good. So, we'll sacrifice that. And what do we get here? 1 damage. Actually, I should maybe be doing the damage to him. Yeah, we'll see. What else does this do? Oh, it'll let me draw another card. Alright, alright. We might pull this off after all. Yeah? Alright. Boom. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. Alright. Let's just, we'll spend one more blue. And, yeah, we swing in for everything. Is that enough? I think it's just enough. Take it. Take it all. Yeah. There we go. So I like this. I'm going to bounce this deck back to the owner. And I'm going to have them make some changes to it. I'm kind of excited to see how this turns out. Yeah. Alright, claim my prize. Alright, let's take one quick second. So anybody else out there that actually took the time to watch this, I'd love to get input. What I've learned more than anything, and the reason that I'm building this whole channel, is to get a community of people, like-minded people together, where everybody improves their game. That's what I'm hoping for. And if you took the time and stuck around to the end, I'd love to hear your input. I'd love to hear your suggestions for making this better. I want to keep it reasonable. Generally, every rotation, every season here, I like to build one of my decks in paper. I don't know if this is going to be it, but I do like to come up with something that I can win with, and then build it in paper and take it to my F&M. So your help, whoever you might be, would be greatly appreciated. So I guess more than anything, I'm saying comment. Of course, the usual thing, like, comment, and subscribe always goes out there. But yeah, make a comment, click the notification bell, chime in with any suggestions that you might have that might make this work even better. I want it to be easy, simple. I want new players, mid-range players to be ready to play this, pick it up and let it go. Anyhow, having said all that, thanks for taking the time to join me here on Tibalt's Apprentice. The Apprentice rules. Thanks.